Abusuafo yenchi on yensan so mo akwa ba me channel so ha eda so aye be media gh abusua yidi se adom ene ahweye nti abusua ho eye pa e oba bibia wo na eye ye papa eye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, yes, the presidential aspirant for eye MPP election 2028 abusua ene pepe e ho akere no pa ensem aba abonte e fa pepe ho no abusua we de wote a woye e be hye na be bisa ho se nti ye pepe okoyes hade we eye den. Yes, okoyes hade we eye den ye hada so ye be media gh abusa be so se ene de connect channel so ni de kwan so ye be so se be subscribe to my YouTube channel abusa be notification bell no so for more practical update yinti ne course so efa eye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ho emra se.
So you see, their actions and inactions last Saturday points to a fact and points to why this country was underdeveloped, because the monies are with them. And I'm very surprised what the GRA is doing with the benefit of these figures. By now the GRA must be going after them to find out how and where they got these monies. Last year, on the 15th of September 2025, I, together with the Bobokman and Apia Dankwa, we petitioned the OSP. You know about that. When Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had told the entire world that he single-handedly donated more than 300 brand new Navara pickups. And when we put pen to paper and did the calculations, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, if he decided not to touch a cent of his salary, could not even purchase 10 of those pickups. The OSP have decided not to touch that matter. So what won the day was money. And if you are a political party in opposition and you are building your party and you build it around money, and we all know that you are not a Father Christmas, and then the viewers or our listeners must understand that they are only baiting you to vote for them so that they can come and recoup these invested monies, which will deny you the much needed development, which will deny the youth of this country the much needed employment, because then the money that has to be invested in the economy would be stolen, would be looted by them to offset the amount of money they have expended during their internal primaries and also the main elections. Now, Senna, immediately, now before I even get to immediately after the elections, you go to the results, into the results, and it's very interesting. They have taken sides. Yagaba Kabore constituency, Yagaba. You saw that results. I've never seen so, apart from Eskin, General Eskin coming to tell us that he voted in a particular polling station, he got 0. Internal election, Yagaba Kabore, all of the rest had 0, which was the same thing in 2023, except Dr. Mahmoud. Do you believe in that results? Do you honestly believe in it? Especially when we have been told by Nanka Bruce, a founding member of the New Patriotic Party, that he, Nanka Bruce, went to the national headquarters to go and cast his vote or ballot. When he went there, he, Nanka Bruce, as a founding member, his name was not part. Because in their mind, Nanka Bruce was going to vote against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, so they would take it out. The name out. But guess what? At the national headquarters itself, to further emphasize the fact that a lot of the founding fathers, the creme de la creme of the party members, do not believe in this process. They see it as a fraud process, as a fake process, as a process that nobody must rely on. 987 people registered to vote at the national headquarters of the party. 987 voters. Senna, guess about close of voting? Only 481 members showed up to vote. And for the benefit of your education to your listeners, the national headquarters has voters ranging from past ministers of state, MPs, chief executives, national council members, national executive council members, and so on and so forth. Less than 50% of these members saw the importance of this activity, and rightly so, because they realized that the whole thing was rigged for one candidate. Now, Sarah, beyond that, utterances linking to even the polling station and election. Before I forget, remember the minority leader's place. Afenyo Markins. They voted en bloc for Kennedy Ohene Ejapo. And this is where I begin to link the problems that you must anticipate into the future. Sana, after the elections, I listened to 2 sets of interviews. And I don't know how they will be able to overcome these voices, these utterances by these 2 people, and what it means to the party. First was Sami Elku on Asempa FM. Sami says, look, if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had won election 2024, he would have given positions to people who actually do not support him and do not believe in his cause. And it was therefore good that he lost, so that today that they have voted and seen the pattern of voting and know those that support him in the future, all those that decided not to vote for him, count yourself out of his administration. In fact, I said 2 statements, but let me say 3 actually. When I heard this from Sami Elku, I took it on a light note, or on a lighter note. On the platform, the very day they declared Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the flag bearer elect, his acceptance speech, in closing his speech, he said, look, as for the MPs, he can't thank them more, and that those that supported him will forever remain in his heart, and he will treat them specially. What it means is that the likes of Stika, the MP at Tejusu, Ajensam, and Afenyo Markins, and Kwaku Kwatin and the rest that supported the bid of Kennedy Japan, and those that supported OPK, them that supported Brian, they have no future in this administration. But that didn't surprise you. It is the reason why already there are machinations, there are maneuvers to, as it were, try to get Afenyo Markins out of position, which will happen anyway, because you see, if Afenyo Markins is thinking anything different. Remember, it was Chairman Sabonsu who was the majority leader. You remember that? And Chairman was replaced by Afenyo. We understand that it was a coup d'etat. Chairman only came out to say that he had resigned, not from his own volition, but if he had not done so, he would have been booted out of office. So he see his nemesis as coming from a coup d'etat that was led and actually executed by Afenyo Markins. Now, Chairman Sabonsu was the coordinator for the Bawumia campaign. And with this in hindsight, you think you will live there. They are already preparing upon Akroma. So that is the first crack. It is the reason why when the parliamentary caucus or the minority in parliament visited Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Afenyo was so clear in his mind that, look, first of all, as a minority party, we never had any strategy in parliament in 2025. Secondly, the cracks are too deep, and that going forward, there must not be any individual play, so that we can work together. And tell because he's afraid. But Afenyo is so much afraid. He knows what is about to happen to him. Afenyo cannot contain it. He knows they're going to boot him up. He said, look, Mr. Flag Bearer, from today to go, in order to let you believe that we are serving you, and say, now listen to this portion very carefully. We vote for parliamentarians to go and serve our interests. Is that not the case? Now, Afenyo, because of the fear of losing his position, went and pledged the entire minority to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He said, look, doctor, the whole of 2025, we didn't have any strategy. Now that you are the anchor you are the leader of the party. Whatever you tell us, that is what we will do in parliament. Can you imagine? He has shown the whole minority to answer to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to do whatever pleases him. And now all of them are going to, they are bowing like there is no tomorrow. Every morning they go and greet. Every morning from head to toe, everyone is going to the house to go and greet. But so now, did you listen to Kennedy Japan? When he met his supporters and few journalists, hey, things are in the Bible, I know. My goodness. First of all, it is so clear that Kennedy Japan does not have that much leverage on the supporters. His own supporters, they have a mind of their own and they think differently. The main reason why they supported Kennedy Japan was the fact that they believed the establishment had destroyed the MPP. Indeed, they have destroyed the MPP. That's why Professor Fibobati told you that the MPP had two sets of membership. They had the fake ones and the virtual members. And that the Kennedy Japan supporters were fighting to make sure that the fake members were sacked from the party. So when he was addressing his supporters, whereas he was preaching unity, right there the supporters told him, hey my friend, if you are the one preaching your unity, just get away. We are done. We will take our destiny into our own. And from there, I have heard and watched a number of videos online with Kennedy Japan supporters, particularly the lady saying that, look, they are not going to work for the MPP, they are not going to join the MPP. I said, I have the data here from, maybe after that you can publish, from our website. I mean the United Party's website, www.unitedpartyghana.org. Since Saturday that they held that election, between Saturday 6 p.m. to Monday, we have gotten close to 3,000 members shifting to our party. And I'll show you the data. I don't lie with data. Because they believe that what was going on was all right. Beyond the supporters telling Kennedy Japan that, look, if you believe in your unity, go. We are finding our own levels. Kennedy Japan also gives us an indication that, look, something monumental could happen along the way. Something dangerous could happen along the way. Something catastrophic could happen along the way. Look, my supporters, why are you worrying yourself? We have 3 years to go. 3 years more to go. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. This is a loaded message that nobody can downplay it or will ever attempt to downplay it. Because see, anything can happen could mean that yes, the party can even decide to, as it were, take Mahmoud Bawumia or remove him as the flag bearer, because obviously, and by now they should know that since Saturday till date, the euphoria around town is that this is the worst decision. It's even worse than what they did in 2023 that the MPP are embarked on, settling on Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Look, so are you aware that there is an upcoming by-election in Ayawasu East? I hope you are aware of that.
In fact, the NDC is doing primaries today.
The NDC is doing primaries today, right?
Yeah.
But are you aware that the MPP has already selected their candidate?
Yeah.
Babali. How many times has the MPP itself, through their communicators or assigns, been able to even bold to project the Babali? They voted for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia with a view that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to champion the vision of the party as well as that of Baba Ali in Ayawasu East. Remember, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia lives in Ayawasu East. And he has been telling us all this while that given the opportunity, he will win the Muslim vote. Thankfully, the Ayawasu East is a Muslim vote. community. So they were expecting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, after accepting to be the flag bearer of the party, the next Sunday he is in Ayawasu East, house to house, room to room, campaigning for Babali. He said, what did Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia do? The next available flight is in the UK, chilling. The man is chilling. Because there is nothing that he could go and say on the street that people would take him serious. I can tell you that he is going to be a lame flag bearer. Is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia going to campaign on the economy currently? Is he going to go to Ghanaians and talk to Ghanaians about exchange rate? When he had preached to us in opposition in 2013, 2014, 2015 and 16 that there was something called the Donjami exchange rate. You heard that? And that there was a correlation between interest rate, exchange rate and inflation, and that given the opportunity, he was going to turn around the economy of this country, stabilize the city. Indeed, when they came to power, he was bold to tell us that he had arrested the dollar and given the keys to the then IGP. What's the name of that IGP? I forgot it, but it will come. You understand? That he was boasting that he had given the keys to. Now today, if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as a flag bearer decides to go out and campaign, how is he going to relate the current exchange rate to his regime? Now going around the country, the campaign was made relatively cheaper for him because the fuel that he used to cause Ghanaians to buy 23 cedi per liter, he was buying it at 10 cedi. How would he be able to go back to the people of this country as the flag bearer of the MPP to say that, look, the current fuel regime, ours was better than yours, and for that matter, look at me and vote. What about the NAPCO that he himself brought? NAPCO, Nation Builders Corp, that a party that had a policy called, a program called the One District, One Factory, they did not see the need to invest heavily in that policy to absorb most of the teeming youth to be employed, but they saw the need to give billions of Ghana cedi, in excess of 2 billion, to a program that they were only paying graduates only 700 cedis a month. How would Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia be able to go back to the people and tell them that, look, the policy NAPCO was better than what they are doing today? What about the debt to GDP ratio? What about corruption? How would Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaign on corruption? When in fact his own office, they were identified as being complicit in the stealing of rice. You remember the rice saga? In fact, the office of the special prosecutor has captured it as one of the cases that they are investigating. When they stole more than 10 containers of rice and shared it to Muslims that were fasting.
Please kindly wrap up.
What about the national service that he himself came to tell us that he had bought an app called the Metric app that had the potential of, as it was, restricting registration of fake names into it, when later we were made to believe, and as is so, that 2.4 billion has been swindled under his watch. So clearly, the United Party couldn't have been happier with the choice of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, because as we speak now, the entire Kusasi zone, what it means is that election 2028, the United Party is poised to sweep the votes in the Kusasi zone. You know, this is not something you are going to run away from it. There is a rift between the Mampusis and Kusasis. So the MPP has deliberately said that, look, we don't want.
We and some of the team also channel so mammy and I was so jemre or had a senator body, no, Ediadumi Edumania. Onia, in some room, a young smoke master was a bra. Channel Swami say, GH Politics Avenue.